Hello, Art 3 students. Welcome to Art 3. I know we've already had a little chat welcoming you and explaining my first lesson, but I wanted to get you all started in Photoshop, and since I know this period I'm going to be helping my Art 2 students get started and get used to them, I wanted to get you guys started with a little intro video in Photoshop so that it can help you with any questions and kind of guide you through how to set up your picture so that you guys can get started drawing in the next day or so. So first thing you want to do is go into the self-service menu, and you're going to, if you haven't restarted your computer, you're going to want to restart it and then open self-service, and you're going to go and download Photoshop. It should say Adobe Photoshop. If you don't see it, look under where it says productivity on the right, click on that, and then it might be under there. Okay, I would show you, but I'm at home right now, so I can't do that. The next thing I'm gonna do is when you get it, you're gonna type in Photoshop up at the top in your Finder and click on it, and Photoshop should open. You'll see you'll be able to see your desktop still. It'll look just like this. This is your toolbar right here, this handy dandy little thing. And up here's also some more tools as well. So the first thing you need to do is open the picture that you want to use. So we're going to go File. I always create it into a new document. So I'm going to show you how to make it into a brand new document. So let's go File, New. I always title things with my last name and then what the actual assignment is. So you can say assignment 1 would be fine. Oops, and you know what? I'm going to redo that. Let me X out of that one. And the reason is I didn't change my sizes here for my width and my height. I always like them to be an 8 by 10 or 10 by 8. So let's do that one more time. Assignment 1. And the width of mine is going horizontal picture. It's not a portrait. So I'm going to go ahead and make sure that the width is my long side, which would be 10. And my height would be my short side, which will be 8. I make sure it's in inches because sometimes it's in pixels. So make sure that's inches. And 72 is exactly where you want to be. And then just hit OK. And now a white box will pop up. Some people like to see this a little bit bigger. You can just click on the corner and make that a little bit bigger. Okay, it just depends on what you're doing. The next thing you need to do is open your actual picture you want. So I'm going to go File and Open. And I'm going to bring it into my white blank document that I just made. Mine's already on my desktop, so I'm going to grab this. And now you can see I have two tabs. I have my white tab that I just made, that 8 by 10, that 10 by 8, and now I have my other picture. I'm going to take this and I'm going to move it over so that I can see both of them. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this and just drag it on over. But I need to grab the right tool. If you're on the wrong tool, it won't allow you to do that. If you're on the arrow tool, it allows you to move things. So I'm going to click on my picture and I'm going to move it on over to my white blank canvas. I'm going to try to make it the same size. So in order to make this, I can actually go ahead back to this one and X out of that. I don't need that anymore. In order to make this the right size, I need to transform it. So you go up to Edit and go down to Transform and then Scale. If at any time I'm going too fast in this video, just pause the video and do it and then come back and start back over from where you left off. Hit Scale, and you'll see the little squares in the corners like you would see in any other program. And I'm going to hit Shift. If you hold Shift down when you're moving, it won't alter your face or your image. So hold Shift, click the corner, and drag it on out. And I want it to be as big as my thing, so I'm going to go ahead and just make it a little larger. And when you're done, in order to finalize it, you have to hit Enter. If you don't hit Enter, it will not finalize it. So I'm going to go ahead and hit Enter. And voila, there's my picture. Now I want to do some fun stuff with it. I want to make it look unique. I can make the background look different than my actual face, or I can make it all look the same. So I'm going to show you how to do just that. First, I'm going to show you how to do the whole thing the same. There are these fun things at the top, and I don't think you can see it from what I'm recording because it cuts off part of my screen. But at the top there's a section called Filters. So I'm going to click on Filters, and now you can see there's all these fun different things that I can do to my photo. If I just click on one, Artistic Colored Pencils, a new screen is going to pop up. This is going to show you what colored pencils looks like. It kind of gives you that hatchy little line type work look. to it. When you if you don't like how dark it is or the color of it, you can change all of that right over here, and it'll change right in front of you. You can just play around with it and see what you do like, what you don't like. Darker, brighter. It's kind of cool. I actually like that little outline look to it. But if you don't like that one, you can change. There's all of these you can click on in here. So right now we're in color pencils. You can click on them there, or you can click on them out here too. You can see they're the same. Well, there might be a few different ones because there are a couple different ones here. So play with both. So I can go to cutout. This is the picture I printed in the classroom that you can see on the board, the Art 3 board. And I also printed out ones that were from the Scholastic show that I thought were very good, and it represents the same type of lesson where we're simplifying the shapes in a picture, simplifying the colors, and then just painting them to give it a unique look to it, a different look than just a traditional portrait. Again, play with this too. If you like a style and you're like, oh, I don't like the way it looks to start, play with these to see if it changes anymore to make it the way that you do like it. And I'm okay with even things, giving it that hazy look. I mean, that has a different quality to it too that could be successful. It just depends on what you're looking for and what you want to do. So, I mean, that could work for you if that's something you like. When you're choosing a photo to begin with, your actual photo, I do want you to pay attention to a few different things. I'm going to go back to one of these first ones. I think it was that color pencil one that I liked. I really do like this one, and I like the outline look to it. I don't know if I'd want, now I'm going to keep playing a little bit. And you can go down to these ones and check out what you have here. That might be kind of cool. Maybe too dark. I want it to be simplified, very simplistic. I don't want it to be too much detail. I've seen you guys do detailed stuff, and I want to see something different now. Even a black and white would be really cool too. I like that. If I could add some color to that, that wouldn't be too bad. And I could even add color on my own as well. It doesn't have to be right here in Photoshop. So I'm going to go with this one. A couple of things I want you to pay attention to when you're choosing a photo are a couple things. For one, is it going off the edge of the paper at one point? That makes it more interesting. I know I've talked about these things before, but I really want you in Art 3 to be paying attention to these things. Look at the lead lines. So it's going off the edge of the paper, which makes me want to start up here when I'm looking. Then my eye gets drawn in by my hair, down to here, down to my jawline, and draws me through the paper. So it kind of leads me from the top to the side to the bottom. This one, I can definitely have chosen a better photo. This one I thought was decent, but I could have chose one where I had better angles. Maybe my head is tilted a little bit more. Maybe I'm more dramatic on my look to it. There's all different kinds of things that you can think about. But at this point in Art 3, I want you to really step outside of the box of your comfort zone of making things, what's the simple thing? What's the most simplistic? Now you need to be thinking, what's going to look the coolest? What's going to look the best when I put it on display? Don't be thinking about what is the easiest anymore. That thought should be out of your mind. So keep that in mind as you guys are working. I'm going to go ahead and hit OK. And now there's my photo. Now I could go ahead and print this. You can drop it in my Dropbox, and I could print it in color for you off my color printer, and that would be fine if you want it in color. If you want to change some things in color, you can always go up to Image. And under Adjustments, there's all these different things you can do with colors. Now, I'm not sure if I can go back in and get any color based off of what I just did because I changed mine to black and white. But if you are doing color, you could go into just into the levels, and you can see this with mine even. You can see if I play with these little lines here, nope, it's not going to change because it's filtered. this will change how dark and how light it is within the picture. And that's a nice added feature. So I'd encourage you to play with those in your actual photos. And under image and adjustments, these colors work wonders. You can swap colors. Let's go back to my original. Let me see if I can. If you hit Command Z, that will usually take you back. So let's go to image adjustments, and I'll show you the levels first. So if I click on this, I can just play with how dark and make it more vibrant looking. You know, if my colors didn't quite turn out so good. Especially this was one from just the computer. That definitely looks better already. Go to image adjustments, look at the vibrance. I can make it look like an old-fashioned type picture. I can make just the blue of my eyes pop out. Right now you can already see the blue is really popping more than everything else. If you go into image adjustments, you can replace color. So I can choose the blue of my eyes, and you can see the color starts to change. So if I want to have green eyes or something crazy, you can definitely do things like that. Now that was a shade and tint. There's obviously other shades and tints of blue in my eye, so it's not picking up 100% of the blue, but you get the idea. It works better if you had like a solid section of a color. I'm going to cancel on that. And then, again, you can play with all of these. Color balance, hue and saturation. The color balance just allows you to choose, you know, if you want it to be a certain color picture. You can just play around with those. Once you've decided which one you want to do, then you can go into your actual filters, and maybe that'll change your idea of what you want to do exactly with them. I do like those poster edges too. I encourage you to play with all of these because it's really going to make a difference when you go to choose which one you want. You see, I don't like how grainy that one looks, so I think I'd choose a different one. Let's do the sketch. That one was sketch, stylize. This one's kind of cool too, to play with the glowing neon edges. And you know, the other thing in Art 3 is I don't want anyone's to look the same. I want you guys to really explore what's out there and do things that are different. This is about differentiation at this point. It should not, no one should look the same. And if you want to do something different than everyone else, please let me know. If you want to do an animal instead of doing a person, then let me know. Talk to me about it. If I think that it has potential with what your vision is and what you want to do, I am not going to steer you away from it. Like, I will definitely encourage it, but I want to make sure it's something that I think has potential too at the same time. Where was that one I had that I liked? And because I changed the color, it's actually, I think it was that one. It's actually made it green now. Which is weird, but very cool. So you get the idea. Hit OK. Once you have the one you want, send it in to me, and then you're all set. Let me know if you have any questions, if I'm working with other people, but this is the beginning of your Photoshop lesson. Good luck.